Going live now. Let's see. Oh, I hear the music in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear the music in the background.
Yeah.
Ik hoor ook een tik.
Ik hoor ook een tik, ja. Is dat bij mij?
Ja, want ik doe niks. I'm not doing anything.
Is dat bij mij?
Ja, want ik doe niks. I'm not doing anything. Maar die van jou is volgens mij heel luid, je volume.
Dat is mijn telefoon.
Oh, ik denk echt.
Ja, ik had die live ook opstaan. Die hoor je het niet meer. Now you don't hear it anymore, hè?
No.
That was good.
No, I don't hear it. Yeah.
I think it was my telephone.
Oh, the ticking. Gone.
Ticking, it is gone, huh?
Gone. Yeah, man. So we're back. We're back live here, prophesying and telling you what's gonna happen. You know, because that's what the watchmen do. We watch around, see what's happening, see what time we're living in, and we translate it. We translate the scriptures onto you. So yeah, man. So we want to start off by saying, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rekakadash.
Ba'Shem Rekakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Greatmillstone for teaching us his truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
God. So, as the title reads, you know, the clouds shall save us. And this is a part 1 installment because we have a lot of scriptures lined up. And yeah, we're going to see until where we can, the Spirit leads us. And if not, if we don't finish it, then we're going to go further in a part 2. Because, yeah, I think we are for sure going to go into a part 2 because we first want to explain what the clouds mean. That is the chariots of the Most High and what they can do. And then we're going to go the part 2 maybe into the strangeness of his salvation, because then you have the understanding of what the strangeness means, you know. So without further ado, let's go to Acts.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and the cloud received him out of their sight.
God. So this is when Yahushua came back to sup with the disciples who later become apostles. You know, that he was making everything known to them. He was manifesting the truth unto them, you know, all the parables and the secret things. So he was speaking unto them. And what did he say? Yeah, he said that you will receive power, as it says in verse 8. You can read that also.
Okay, start with 8. But this is the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit, Salakia, is come upon you, and ye shall be witness unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea, Salakia, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
So these are red letters. So this is what Yahushua told the disciples who later become apostles. And that's what he's explaining to them right here, because he is sending them out into the world to be a witness unto these places, you know, unto Judea and Samaria, that they witness Yahushua. You know, they witness that what he did, the miracles and everything that he made known unto them. And it says, and unto the uttermost part of the earth. So that means all across the earth also. the apostles were going to preach this word. And also, if you go into that word, uttermost, it is in, let me see, eschatos, which is latter end. You know, that means the latter end of the age. The latter, and the age, which age is talking about, is speaking about the age of Esau's rulership. Because when Yahushua was on the scene, it was the Romans that were ruling. And we are still in the Roman Empire revived, you know, empire. So the apostles, they were going to prophesy that they witnessed Yahushua, and in everything that they're saying, they're going to be prophesying the truth, because the truth, as it says in Matthew 24, it has to be spread across the whole earth, you know, across the four corners of the earth. So that's the time that we're living in. This is the seed that was planted. This is the truth that came back, and now, you know, it's all over the earth. So not to go too much off topic, verse 9, can you read that again, Babu Kasha?
This is the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken of these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and the cloud received him out of their sight.
God, let me see. No, this one. Come over here. Got a picture over here. Let me see. Share screen. Oh, I'm supposed to enlarge it. Share. So this is what they saw, a cloud taking him up. And what does this look like? What does Esau say that this is? They call it the flying saucer, right? You know, because the way it's shaped like a saucer. You know, a saucer is like a bowl where you eat soup out of, but it's on its head, actually. You know, it's upside down. But that's what Esau calls it, a flying saucer, or a UFO, you know, unidentified flying object, or a UAP. What was it? Unidentified aerial phenomena. So that's not what it is. It is a chariot of the Most High. And this is what was used to take up Yahushua. That's what is described in the book of Acts 1, verse 9. Go.
Verse 10. And when they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by him in white apparel. Verse 11. Which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heavens? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
So these two men, which I believe that these are two angels in white apparel, that they said, you know, Yahushua, he's going to come in the like manner that he went up in. And the precept on that is Revelations 1 and 7, you know, to explain that further. God, can you give me that? Revelation 1 and 7?
Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so. Amen.
God, so behold, he cometh with clouds, and that's the cloud that we just showed you, you know, the chariots of the Most High. Those are the vehicles of the Most High. So he's going to come with them, and he's going to wax strong with them. Let me see. You can get that in 2nd Ezra 13 and 2. So when Yahushua comes, he's going to come with clouds, not one, not two, but he's going to come with a lot of them. He's going to be standing on the fathership, you know, the biggest one. That's the scripture is going to explain that it's going to be so big that it looks like the one that from Independence Day. Let me see. Let me get that real quick. In, how do you write this? Independence Day, Will Smith. I don't want to see Will Smith. I want to see the chariot. UFO.
Like you say, the brother is saying, Esau knows, man. That's why he made these movies, man. Because he knows that these are the chariots of the Yahweh Shem, man.
Yeah.
And that's why we see in these movies, Esau reads the Bible, and from the Bible, he got all these movies in Hollywood.
Yep. I got one picture, but it's not really. Let me just share it. Share screen. You have Independence Day. You have a big UFO coming out of the clouds, you know, and that's what that's what the prophets use to describe the chariots, because the only thing that was in the air were birds and clouds, you know, those things were in the air. So when they would describe the chariots of the Most High, they would say often clouds and a pillar of fire, you know.
Yeah.
No, this is something else. But these are the vehicles of the Most High. These are the vehicles that the Most High used to take up certain prophets and to take up Yahweh Shai, you know, because Elijah also was taken up. But we're going to go into that later on. Let's see, stop sharing. Gone. So he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. You know, meaning it's going to be evident that that Yahweh Shai has come back. It could be through broadcasting from the news, you know, or that everything is going to be, let's say, nothing is impossible with the Most High. So he can make it that everybody is going to see when Yahweh Shai is going to come. You see, and they also which pierced him. Which, how are the Romans that pierced him 2,000 years ago are going to see him? They're going to see him because reincarnation exists, because they are back in the flesh. Because reincarnation means means to be back, and incarnate means in the flesh. See, so they are going to be here in the flesh, and they're going to know what they did, because Yahweh Shai is going to transfigure himself to be in that same way, like how he was when they mourned him, when they spat at him, when they crucified him, you see, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. So there's going to be gnashing of teeth. Yahweh Shai, as it says in Isaiah 63, he is going to be the one that is going to be marching and thrashing these people in the wine press, you know. His garments are going to be sprinkled with blood. So Yahweh Shai, he's going to make these people gnash their teeth. He's going to make these people wail. You see, he's not going to come and bring roses and lollipops, you know.
Like the Christians thinking that he coming with love. He loves everyone, all the Gentiles.
He's going to come with fire.
God. The great sword.
Yeah. Let me see. God, give me First Thessalonians first. Let me read it. You got it on deck, or let me see if I can get it.
I got it on deck.
God, yeah, Paul.
This is First Thessalonians, chapter 4, verse. Let me start with 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangels, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first.
So when Yahushua is gonna come, he's gonna come with a shout and with a scream. You know, it's gonna be a shout that you have never heard in your life before. You know, and it's gonna go down your spine, and fear is gonna fall upon you. You know, if you're not looking out for that day, just like how the watchmen of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua are looking out for that day, because that's gonna be the day of our salvation. But for these other people, it's not gonna be a good situation that they're gonna be in, man.
It's gonna be dreadful with them.
Yeah.
Because you know, you also know, if you sometimes things, especially when you was little, and sometimes things get too much, and sometimes you want to shout like, imagine Yahweh Shai, man, the things he been through for us. He coming back on this earth, man. He ain't gonna let go, man. He gonna shout like, hey, his fury is gonna be. You cannot imagine that, man. The whole earth is gonna tremble, man.
Exactly, because he's gonna come in this extraterrestrial body. He's not gonna be coming as a man. You know, it was Isaiah 47, verse 3. It says he's not gonna meet thee as a man when he comes back. So he's not gonna be meek and lowly like how he was. He's gonna come as a power, you know, as the son of the Most High. Everything is gonna shake at his coming, you know. So you best believe that when he comes, fear and dread is gonna come upon these people. You see.
And one thing I want to say also, like the elect, that's why the elect got to be beamed up in those chariots, because we cannot be on this earth, because Yahweh Shai, he cannot bring too much damage if we are here on this earth, you know, still the elect. So when we are gone, he can let go, and all his fury and his wrath upon all these wicked heathens, and man, he gonna trample them, man. That is gonna be, you cannot be on this earth, man.
And speaking about that, he can jump to Revelations. Let me read it. You stay in 1 Thessalonians. This is Revelation 11. No, not 11. 15, verse 2. Yeah, God. This is Revelation 15, verse 2. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. God, so it says, and I saw as it was a sea of glass, and that sea of glass resembles the firmament, you know, because we have to be out of the firmament to make it alive, you know, to be saved from the destruction that is going to come. So, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, which the beast is the NAO and the EU and America, and over his image, and over his mark, which the mark is the charagma, you know, which we can't not really speak on right now.
You know,
so there's the charagma, and over the number of his names, which is 666, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. So those are going to be the elect men that are going to be saved out of this destruction, you know, out of the wrath and the fury of the Most High that he's going to bring upon the earth through his son, you know, because the Most High is also mad as these heathen, man, that they have touched the apple of his eye. You see? So go back to 1 Thessalonians.
I had a precept for you. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Break it out.
Can't, because like we were saying, man, if Yahweh Shai is coming back with the shout, and what you were saying, these Christians, they think that Yahweh Shai is coming back, and like the brother was saying, coming with pom-poms and, and lollipops. That is ain't gonna happen, man. He's coming with a sword, man, and that day is gonna be dark, man. That's why we were saying, like, we cannot be on this earth, man, if this happened. Like the brother was going in Revelations 15, we cannot stand on this earth anymore, man. Because the Lord is gonna do damage on this earth, man. He's gonna wreak havoc on this earth. So
Yeah.
that day is gonna be really dark, man. So come.
So jump back to First Thessalonians.
This is First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Hey.
Yeah, man. So it merges perfectly in what we're going into right now, you see. So it says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them. Let me see. Now let me go up first. Verse 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. Meaning, you have this brother from, what was it, Trinidad. He slept, he died. You have the elders and the apostles of our apostles. Abba Bivens and those men. They are gonna be there in the chariot already, because they are already passed this life. They are already with the Most High. So when Yahushua comes, the dead are gonna be raised up first with Yahushua, because we are not gonna prevent them, as it says, in the first above. We shall not come before these men that are dead in Yahushua. So they are going to be there with Yahushua, and then we that remain, we shall also be caught up in clouds and join them, and so shall we forever be with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because then we are going to be changed, as it says in 2 Corinthians 15, because no corrupting can inherit the kingdom. So we have to be changed. We have to be changed when we go into the chariots. You see? So then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, which we explained the clouds. Those are the chariots of the Most High. Those are the vehicles of the Most High, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we forever be with him. God. Can you get me Jeremiah 4?
Yeah.
Jeremiah 4, verse 13.
Verse 13.
Kan shalom akia bashim shai bashim rekakodash barakata taziyat. Shalom.
Shalom. This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 13. Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled.
Gone. So this chapter is entitled Judgment from the North. So the North country is going to be judged. And also in this chapter, you read about the lion has come up from his thicket, which that lion is the Lion of Judah, which is explained in Revelation 5. So that lion is Yahushua. He's the destroyer of the Gentiles. He's the destroyer that is going to come up to the ticket, which in this case, when he comes back, he's going to come with clouds, as we just read in Revelation 1. So it says, behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. So the chariots of the Most High, they're swifter than eagles. You see what they can do. You see when they fly, like,
Man.
they're not like anything here upon earth. They just change direction just like that, just by thinking. We with human bodies, if we would be in chariots like that, the G-force would kill us going all left and right and up and down, you know. So we have to be changed in order for us to be saved, you know.
And these chariots, they can shrink, make themselves big, make themselves small.
Yeah.
Man, this hey Yahweh Yahweh man, that this hey, he's really omnipotent, man. You don't know,
Yeah.
you cannot imagine this, man. It's crazy,
Yeah.
man. That's why the
He
chariots
created
is
everything. He
he
created
created
everything.
everything.
And nothing is impossible with him. He can these
Exactly.
chariots are sheer energy. You know, you see some of these chariots, what they do to missiles, they just zap them and they start malfunctioning and stuff.
Yeah,
Sheer energy.
sure.
So that's why it also refers to them as horses, because of their power, because of the horsepower, the strength that they have. Also, you know, because a horse resembles strength.
Yeah.
You see? So what do we have? You had the second Esdras.
After second Esdras, chapter 13.
Chapter 13, start at 2.
This is second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 2. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when they turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
So that man is speaking about Yahushua, you know, and he waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, which are the angels and the chariots that he's going to come with. You see? When he turned to look, everything trembled underneath him, because he's going to come with such a power, such a presence, that everything is going to fear and tremble. You know, it's not like it's not like a man. You know, when he's going to come, everything is going to be all the elements are going to shake, all the elements are going to move. That's also what happens with these chariots. When these chariots come, just like in the time of Moses on Mount Sinai, you know, that whole mountain was torched black, you know.
Yeah.
These Israelites that saw the chariots, they were scared. You know, they were hearing thunderings. They couldn't understand what the Most High was speaking unto Moses. So that's how, when these chariots come, when Yahushua comes, everything is gonna be sheer chaos. People that don't understand what is happening. To us, it's gonna be like, yes, you know, we're gonna look up and we're gonna say Kal Halal Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But these people, they are gonna be in
verse 3 or verse 4.
Yeah.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
So Yahushua, he also is gonna be blasting lasers, you know. And also the chariots. Let me see. Yeah, because Yahushua is gonna come and do damage. You know, he's not gonna be coming with a gun or coming with he's the son of the Most High. He has things that you can't even phantom of. You know. So when he's gonna come, he also is gonna come with his power and his presence and his lasers. You know. Come.
Verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the men that came out of the sea.
Yeah, so these are the armies all across the earth that are going to come, and they're going to gather together, reunite, put all the differences aside, just to fight that one common enemy, because they are going to be in the Middle East. They're going to be fighting each other, but then you're going to see Yahushua is going to come out of the sea. So they're going to put their differences aside just to fight the common enemy, which is Yahushua.
And Reagan, so can I go into that also? Reagan was talking about that. Remember the old clip? He said, like in an old video, he said, like, hey, what if we have an alien invasion, you know, and we are all now fighting with each other. But then we need to put our differences aside, and we got to fight the power, the aliens of they call it aliens, of course. So Esau know that it's the angels, you know. They said that we're gonna fight we're gonna be on one accord to fight the threat that is coming from space, you know, roughly paraphrase, you know. But that was what they say. Reagan, they knew, man, and they know the scriptures because they know.
Yeah, just like you were speaking about all these movies that they're making with these chariots and with the UFOs and with alien invasion, they know that they are losing the grip on their kingdom, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be translated, that is going to be taken over, that, you know, as the scripture says, the saints of the Most High, the saints of Israel shall take the kingdom, you know, roughly paraphrasing. So it's not going to be like, oh, okay, here you have this, by this decree, I give you this empire, and it all happens in peace. You know, we just go to the background and y'all can take over. No, man, we're going to take it with force, you know, the force of the Most High.
That's right. And I want to say something, Baba Kasha, because now you see they put out the Space Force, and for what they put out down a Space Force up in the heavens, is because they want, like we was going in the scripture, they want to subdue the one Yahweh who's going to come, because they see with the telescopes, they see the chariots are coming, they see that big chariot. You remember the footage? NASA cut it off immediately. They saw that, man, if you were seeing the chariot, and that is the big father chariot, man. They were afraid, man. They was like, hey, you know, so they know that sooner or later they're gonna face the ineffable, and that is gonna be fight Yahweh by Yahweh Shai, man. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why, like the brother is saying, this kingdom is going down, man. You know, and Esau knows it, man. He feels it too, man. Everything is crumbling around him, man. And that is Shapah.
Yeah. Gone.
Verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
Yeah, that's that fathership. Yeah. God, that's that great father, that big spaceship, that big UFO, you know, that fathership where he's gonna come flying on.
Verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
So imagine that Ezra, he saw a mountain, like he compared it to a mountain. So you have a mountain starts, you know, it starts at the bottom, it starts at the horizon. So he was looking around, he was looking left, like, hey, it should start right around there and it should end right around there. But couldn't see any mountain where it was cut off. So that's how big it was. You know, he was looking, but he wasn't seeing the end of it. So that's how big this spaceship, this chariot of the Most High is going to be. So that's the one that Yahushua is going to come upon. And then you're going to have all the other clouds that are going to follow him, all the other angels that are going to follow him.
Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst to fight.
Yep. So they mustered of their last strength, their last courage, you know, to fight Yahushai, you know. So they were so afraid, but still the Most High can change their mind, just like what he did with the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh, he hardened his heart, you know, at the end, because the Pharaoh let the Israelites go. But then in the end, he hardened his heart so that he would go after them, so that the Most High can really show his power, you know, with the chariot, because that was also a pillar of fire by night that guided them, and a cloud by day, you know, which also represents a chariot, you know, that guided them and that protected them, you see. And like when Yahushai also was born, you know, the three kings, the wise men, they followed a star to go to Yahushai which that star was actually also a chariot that was pointing the location of Yahushua, where he was going to be born. You see? Go ahead.
Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest.
Yeah, man. So that's what these chariots are capable of. You know, that big fathership. He didn't come with sword or whatnot. He opened his mouth, which is let me see if I can find a picture. It was that Independence Day picture, right? I believe. Independence Day. Movie. Done. Share my screen. Something like this. You know, he opened his mouth and there came a blast of fire. Like that. Like this. And that's what the capability, these chariots have, man. You know, in all their pictures, they show you, you know, the lightning and the lasers and the tempests that come out of these chariots, because Esau knows, man.
Mm-hmm.
He knows. Look at this.
Blessed in the White House. Like who was saying it? I think Apostle Gabar, one of the apostles, was saying it. Like the elites, because they know the scriptures, you know, they allowed Hollywood to make these movies, you know, to show the destruction of America, you know, all kinds of these things, because the elite allowed them, because they know about the scriptures, man. And I was watching Apostle Gabar, I think yesterday, and I was like, yeah, he's right, man.
Yeah,
you see that, man. That Esau, he know that it's all in the scriptures, man. Because before they don't know about the scriptures so much, so you was like, hey, you was mesmerized by Independence Day, always nice. But now when you see these movies, you look at it with spiritual eyes. You know, we brothers and a few sisters who are in the truth, we know that, hey, man, this is scriptural, man.
Because when you were in the world and you were watching this, then it looked like, hey, you know, this is never gonna happen. This fairy tale, but it's nice though. The action, the explosion. Whoa! Did you see that explosion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he comes and he attacks the thing. I hope he's gonna win. I hope he's gonna win from the aliens. Yay! Okay, Earth wins again. But now that you're in the truth, you know, like our camp leader always says, you know, our heroes are their enemies, and their heroes are our enemies.
That's
so
right.
When the angels come to bring salvation unto us, those are the enemies of these heathen, you know, because they don't want their empire to stop. They don't want their kingdom to stop. So they're gonna go out with a fight. You know, that's why the scripture says there's fight, you know, because they don't want to lose this. They don't want to lose their rulership. But yeah, man, the Most High has something else in mind for them. So these chariots, when they come, they also are going to have the capability to blast lasers, because they also have sheer energy, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Go
ahead.
Verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, everyone, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
You see that? So when that's a laser, only dust and smoke. You know,
Yeah.
what type of fire is gonna only leave dust and smoke? Normally, if you have normal fire, you're gonna see somebody flesh burning, and you see the bones and stuff like. This is dust. That's the laser, man. Dust and smoke. It's like,
yeah, man.
Just like how in what was it?
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, War of the Worlds, and also what happened to it in Thanos. You know, when
Thanos.
then you only saw dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people they became dust.
Yeah.
So that's Thanos. That's Yahushua, man. That's our savior, because their destruction means that our kingdom is going to be established. You know, and that's also from the scripture. You know, with the turning into dust. That's this.
Mm-hmm.
You see, no lasers this time, but still, they know that when Thanos comes, when who else? You have that other guy with the Om sign on his chest. I forgot what his name was. It's not Apocalypse. I think it's a other one. Dark side. Yes.
Yeah.
All those, you know, with the red flaming eyes. Also.
Yeah. Dark side. Yeah. But also with the War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise, when these chariots start to shoot the laser, then another one he was going into dust, and he had all the dust in his mouth, you know, and he was like, "Hey, I got dead people in my mouth." It was crazy. That is from the scriptures.
I need to see that movie. I saw it. My wife had a dream about that. So she was explaining how, you know, where her village where she comes from, she was there with her parents, and then it was all crazy. You know, she saw those things from War of the Worlds. You saw like chariots, you saw UFOs, but then with tentacles, you know, walking. I'm like, I know exactly what you mean. I showed her the movie, and she's like, yeah, that's what I saw. You know, people running and all in fear and stuff. So all these dreadful things are going to come upon the earth, man.
That's right.
Hey, it's going to be the takeover.
The takeover.
Yeah.
And the kingdom going to be a righteous kingdom, going to be established here on the earth under the rule of Yahushua, man.
God.
And that is what we're waiting for, man. That's why we're doing this work, man. That's why we sign and crying every day, man. Because we want to get out of this hellhole, man. This place is hell, man. Beside this truth, what you have, man, in this world, man, nothing, man. You know, it is all wickedness, man. All nothing. Of course, we like also music. We like a lot of things, you know. But we know this is not forever, man. You know, because all these things don't bring you joy, because it's just forever, for like a adrenaline shot. You know, you'd be like, oh, okay, but then you have it and you see it, and it's nothing, man. You know, so
you can't really enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we are still because we are still being oppressed. Because this is not our kingdom, man. If you wanna go now, taking a plane somewhere else, you got to show your ID. You know, you have a number. You know, ID number. That means yes, you are in slavery, man. That means that you are not free, because these elites, they don't have no passports. I can tell you that, man. The Apostle Kabara and Apostle Tahar was going into that too, man. These elites don't have no passports. They don't have the same rules like we have, you know. Because immediately if you are born, you know, you get that number, man. You are corporate owned, you know.
Your social security number.
Yeah, your social security number, man. Because we are a walking banknote for these elites, and that is what's going on, man. And a lot of people don't know that, but we are all slaves, man, especially the Israelites, and everything goes back like 100 years ago, man. This is all set up by Esau, and indirectly by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because we went off and we went in captivity, because these heathens don't ruling us really, because we need to rule this earth, but because of our transgression, we are now in this lower state, man. But hey, this is our last captivity, man. Hey, and Yahweh we are of these numbers, man, of the numbers of the elect, man, that we are, gonna be safe, man. Come.
Yeah, because this is awaiting this earth, man. That the chariots are gonna come, that Yahushua is gonna come, that judgment is gonna come, that fire is gonna come. So Yahweh, we hope and pray and work to be of that number.
That's right.
144,000. See? Gone. Shalom, Mark. Yahweh Shem Yashai, Bashem Rekah. Yeah. So can you jump to Psalms 18, verse 6? Because these chariots, they come with power. They come with these lasers. They come with capability to blast and turn everything into dust. So this already happened in the past with King David, when King David was surrounded by waters, which when the scripture sometimes speaks about waters, it speaks about the enemy. The enemy is going to compass them. What was it? When the enemy shall come in as a flood.
Oh, God.
When the Most High is going to lift up a standard. So that's how, and also when you see in the news or whatnot, when a whole lot of people are gathered together, then you can, people say that's a sea of people. You can't, that means there are a lot of people. When people are in the stadiums and then they do a wave, why do they call it a wave? Because it's a sea of people that is doing that movement.
Yes, so, like what you're saying in it's Isaiah chapter 59. That when the enemy comes in as a flood, then
that's when the Most High is going to lift up a standard. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
this Psalms is Psalms 18, verse 6. In my distress, I called upon the Lord, and I cried unto my power. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Verse 7. Then the earth shook and trembled, and the foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth.
So everything started to shake because the Most High was starting to do something. He was going to do something.
Verse 8. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth. The devoured coals were kindled by it.
So this is a precept on the second Ezra 13, verse 4 that we just read. That these chariots come with lasers. So this is what happens. There came smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth that devoured. That's the image that we just showed you, that you have the chariot, and in the midst of the chariot, in the middle, he opens his mouth, and then poof, that laser comes. And then before it, there are coals. Wait a second, I gotta just remember the precept. Coals and Eden, I believe. Before, bear with me for a second. Oh no, this is fired. No, that's speaking about the missiles. That before it was Eden, and behind it was a wilderness. No, that's speaking about these missiles. Salakia. Go ahead.
Verse 9. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet.
So when it says he bowed the heavens also, when you go into that word bowed, it is nata, which is to extend or to spread or to incline. This is like these things, what you see, that the portal is being created, a hole. So that's when these chariots come, they can come through portals, because they come from another dimension. You see?
So like, did you see that video that I posted like 2 years ago already on my page, on my channel, that a chariot, he opened up a portal, and you hear the people also like, what the hell is this, man? And like a light blue portal, and he sit in it, man. It was crazy, man. I think the elder from GMS North Carolina, he reposted also the same video, but that is crazy, man. These chariots, man, Esau, you in trouble.
He wasn't ready. That's what you're gonna hear. He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
He thought he was.
Yeah, man. Man, your whole equipment, the most I gave you, because why? He want to make it a little bit for you, a little fight, because what was if he didn't give you that knowledge, man? Then the most, and you were still riding on a real horse, and a chariot, man. This was nothing for these angels, man. The Most High also, he's the Lord of Sabaoth, man. He loved war, man. So he want to show the whole world like what it is. If you disobey the Lord, man, and you're gonna be he's gonna set that example, and you're gonna be that example, man.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I was just gonna say that he's gonna be the leading example, because that's the also what he did with the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh, he brought him up so high, not for the Pharaoh to be in a great state. No, it's for the Most High to show that, you see how great this man is. I'm still gonna take him down. So that's right. Most High. He's a god of war, a man of war. So he likes a good fight. He doesn't want to come over as a bully, that you're weak and stuff like that. No, he wants you to be so you're strong, you're powerful in this world. Okay, I'm gonna take you out. Then people are gonna acknowledge and see the strength that the Most High has. You see?
Yeah, homie, back in the days, you used to be the man, homie. Now look what has happened to you. That is what is going to happen with you, Jesus.
Yeah,
everybody's going to, all the nations, man, they're going to be like looking at you like, you, was that the man who made the whole kingdoms tremble?
You took the words out of my mouth again.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Your pump is going to be brought low.
God,
I got a precept. This is Habakkuk 3, verse 4. And this is also speaking about the chariot. So I'm just going to jump straight to the point. We're going to come back at it and start reading from up. But this is Habakkuk 3, verse 4. And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. Like we were going into, the power of the lasers, that's the power of these chariots. So, and he had horns coming out of his hand, meaning horn means rays of light, which is that, that blast, that laser blast. And there was the hiding of his power. So that's the power that these chariots have, that concentrated fire, not normal fire, but really concentrated. So that's the horn, that's the ray of light that came out of these chariots. God. So you're at Psalms 18.
This is Psalms 18, chapter of verse 10. And he rode upon a cherub and did fly. Yeah, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. Verse 11. He made darkness his secret place, his pavilion round about him, where dark waters and thick clouds of the skies.
Yeah, man. So when these chariots come, you see only darkness. That's also why the scripture says the day of the Most High is going to be darkness and not light, because there's going to be so much chariots that they're going to cover the sun. When they come, only darkness is going to cover the earth. And also, I believe you just said you had these big chariots, right? It's not the only one, so they're going to come thousands, so they're going to cover the whole earth. So everything is going to be dark. And that's why it says he made darkness his secret place, especially on round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the sky. So the sun is going to be covered, man. It's going to be only darkness when these chariots come and when Yahushua comes. Go ahead.
Verse 12. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire.
So that's what these chariots are going to bring. Coals of fire. See, they're going to bring lasers, and they're also going to set this place ablaze, man. Go ahead.
Verse 13. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Yeah, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightning and discomfited them. Verse 15. Then the channels of waters were seen. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundation of the world were discovered. At thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils.
So this also reminds me of Habakkuk 3, where it says, let me just go to it. This is Habakkuk 3, verse 8. Was the Most High displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? That thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation. So when these chariots come, because like we also explained, when the Israelites left Egypt, they went through the Red Sea, and you had that cloud that was guiding them, so that cloud also, it lifted it, this is just me speaking as a man, but if it speaks in Habakkuk 3 and in Psalms 18 about that the foundations of the rivers were seen, meaning the depths of the river was seen. It was all you could see the ground in the river. That means that everything, all the water went up. And as it also says in, let me see, in that same chapter, Habakkuk 3, it speaks on how the depths, it was here, verse 10. The mountains saw thee, this Habakkuk 3 and 10. The mountains saw thee, and they trembled. The overflowing of waters passed by. The deep uttered his voice and lifted up his hand, and lift up his hands on high. So the depth of the rivers was seen. So that also shows you that the magnitude and the power and the power of manipulating the elements that these chariots also have. They have that capability to manipulate these elements, like water and the river. So when you read in Psalms 18 that the foundations of the world were discovered by the rebuke at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils, which is the nostrils of these chariots, they can uncover the bottom of the earth, not the bottom of the earth, the bottom of the rivers. You understand? So that's something that you also need to understand. These chariots, they have the power to manipulate all the other elements also. Everything trembles, everything shakes. So that's just the works of the Most High. That's how he works through the chariots. Because if the Most High would come here to do certain things, nothing would live. So he works through the chariots. God.
Verse 16. He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters.
So yeah, that's the point. So King David, he was covered by the waters, which the waters represent these armies. They compassed him round about, and he prayed, and then the Most High sent a chariot to help him escape. As it says, he delivered me from my, he sent from above, he took me. So this chariot took him, saved him, and took him and brought him somewhere else. You see? Go to Revelation 11, verse 12.
This is the
and I think that we're going to end it on that
11
for this session. Yeah.
God.
Revelation 11 and 12.
This is Revelation 11, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to the heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
God. So just like how King David, he was also saved by a chariot, by a cloud. He was lifted up and transported somewhere else. That's how also in this time, Revelation 11 says, they heard a great voice, come up hither. So all the Israelites that have been doing this work, all the Israelites that have to be saved, the governing body, the 144,000, and also the elect, they are going to be saved out of the destruction that's going to come upon Babylon. And like you beautifully explained the last time, when America, Babylon the Great, is going to be bombarded with all these nuclear missiles and bombs, you're going to have earthquakes and tsunamis. So everywhere here, so Holland, also in Holland, you're going to have the aftermath, the after effect, the aftershock. So we also have to be saved out of this place, So then, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither, in America, and also the other places where the destruction is going to come. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So the 144,000 are going to be saved, and the enemies are going to look at them like, huh? What about us? They're going to behold them. And also it says just as a allegory.
Wisdom of Solomon?
No, I was thinking about Luke 16.
Oh yeah, Luke 16.
As an analogy, because when it says, it speaks about Lazarus and the rich man. Lazarus are the Israelites, and the rich man is Esau. And it says in Luke 16, verse 23, and in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. So he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, like we were explaining. The enemies are going to behold them. They're going to behold them. They are going to be in a bad situation. They are going to be tormented. They are going to be burnt up. They are going to fall into these earthquakes. They are going to be swallowed up by tsunamis. They're going to be in torments. And further explaining, and said, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. So Lazarus in his bosom, in the bosom of Abraham, means that we are going to be protected. We are going to be saved. We are going to be saved we are going to carefully be taken care of. In the bosom of Abraham. That represents security. Not in torments like how the rich man is going to be in torments. You see?
That's beautiful.
Go on. So we want to end it on that part, on that note. And Yaratazah, we're going to further go into it with these chariots in another lesson. Yeah, but Lord willing, we hope that this was edifying. And we want to say all praise, honor, and glory go unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rekakudash.
Ba'asham Rekakudash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Greatmillstone for teaching us this truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.
Shalom.